Do you ever think what a mistake this was?
My kids ask me that all the time.
Do you think it was a mistake?
No, it wasn't a mistake. The kids think so.
Okay, we're going. So I have an illustration here. By the way, Dave Safransky.
Why are you standing in front of him?
Yeah, why did you
Dave
say
Safransky with us. But no, okay, so everybody's seen that thing, right? You seen that story going around social media? Kelly's holding the camera today, poor Kelly. Is this,
a new
can you see this pretty
Monopoly
good?
game, yeah.
You see that all right, Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Babylon Bee had their own spoof on this, and it's a Monopoly game where women, you get more money when it starts, you get more money when you pass go. It's some fairy tale kind of thing. You know?
It's fairy tale. It needs to be reality.
Okay.
It's about time.
So,
And they highlight inventions that we make because we're so smart. Women are awesome.
anyway, so the Babylon Bee is a Christian satire site, and they did their own version as Ms. Monopoly Church Edition. Headline, new versions of Monopoly for Christian women has you recruit all the other players into a pyramid scheme. And then it just talks about all of those various things that, for whatever reason, Christian women just love. LuLaRoe, Plexus, Young Living.
Well, it's good stuff.
It's,
Some of the
yeah.
products are...
In fact, my wife Sarah has talked about, like, were it not for how their business is planned, she loves a lot of the products.
Yeah.
And she would really like to have some of them. And so we want to know, what is it about multi-level marketing that is so attractive to Christian women in particular, or perhaps why they're the target of multi-level marketers more than other women. Before we get to that, technically, multi-level marketing is not a pyramid scheme. Dave Safransky, what is a pyramid scheme?
A pyramid scheme is when you take in money from somebody to pay other investors out. And that pyramid scheme is a fraud. So you're promising somebody an interest rate or a payment or something.
It's not a product.
It's not a product. And the only way to pay them is to take in new money. And it's also called a Ponzi scheme. And it's named after the original pyramid scheme. And it was from a guy named Ponzi. So the name Ponzi scheme came out.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Well, multi-level marketing is, as many experts would say, really close to a pyramid scheme. But
Well, do you
technically,
agree?
most
Do you
of the
agree?
time not.
Well, I don't agree if there's a real product and it's really good and you really want it. So if somebody is fulfilling a need that I have, so I don't have to go to the store and buy it, then it's not a scheme. It's just a way to get a product that's different than going to a big box store and buying it.
Well,
What makes this multi-level versus like a Costco, though, is that you have to recruit people.
yeah, so
It
the
involves
concept,
recruiting people.
according to this article we have posted online as well on our Facebook page, multi-level marketing are a nightmare for women and everyone they know. Exactly. So it uses just distributors, also called representatives or recruiters, to sell products. They use word of mouth to get these recruiters to bring on additional people who can then distribute to a wider audience, and then recruiters are compensated with kickbacks for the sales made by their downline or people they recruited. So I make money when I sell the product, then if I convince Janelle to sell the product, I make money when she sells the product, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So it builds a pyramid of profits.
Yes.
Teresa says it sounds like Brian is the only one close to a mic.
Well,
So we got to get closer.
okay, you got.
Sorry. Yeah, so,
But then to go with that, by the way, to show you how close it is, the Federal Trade Commission keeps a close eye on these.
Mm-hmm.
And they hand slapped Herbalife.
They hand slapped Herbalife because of false claims.
Well, it says here that in 2016 they settled and made them restructure their business model
Mm-hmm.
because they were violating some of these rules for pyramid
Right.
schemes, and they had to pay out 200 million people who lost money based on the way they organized their
what were
company
the
structure.
false claims?
Yeah, what were the false claims?
I don't remember specifically, but I do remember that the way that they would make you buy their product as the representative is one of the things that they addressed. And there's a Bill Ackman, who is a world-renowned trader. He shorts companies that he doesn't like. So when you short a company, you borrow their stock and sell it, okay? And then you buy it back at a lower price and give the stock back. So when you short a company, you think it's going to go out of business. And he was very aggressive against Herbalife, put out a 100-page report about how it was a bad product, bad marketing, bad management, and that really started the process for Herbalife which they eventually got fined for.
Ooh.
Well, and then when you look at this, by the way, Dave, with multi-level marketing, according to the AARP, a study they found 73% of participants either don't make money or lose money.
I believe it.
And then percentages in other studies have gone as high as 99% of people either don't make money or they lose money because they require you to buy in. You
Yes.
got to buy all the products to
So
sell them.
the draw is, and let's just take a classic Christian family, and I think this is why it's a draw to the believers, is
Sound
because
is muffled.
the sound is muffled.
Yes, someone standing in front of the mic. I don't know what it is.
Well, the mic is on her phone.
Yeah, I know, but she said, because when we got closer, she said it doesn't sound great.
Oh, well.
But go ahead, keep going.
So
you
let's
said
say you
a
have
standard Christian family.
you have a Christian family, and dad's working, they have a few kids, and mom wants to stay home and raise the kids. And sometimes people say, well, we did just lose half of our income right now.
Yeah.
And so is there anything we could do to kind of, aside from dad quitting his job and finding another job, maybe in another city, so mom decides to work a little bit, and this is something that they could do at home. So the promise is you're going to get this stuff and everybody's going to want to buy it, but what happens is people don't realize it's a business. You have to run it like a business. And so most people are not business oriented or self-employed oriented. And so we basically throw them to the wolves, and they don't know how to go out and build a market and stay in contact with people and not be annoying to everybody that they know. And that's why I think a lot of people get discouraged quickly and lose money, because they bought all this product, right?
Yeah.
They don't know how to sell it. They don't know who to sell it to, and they don't want to bug people, so they kind of left holding the bag. They got all this stuff in their garage, and they just end up using it.
But they have good intentions why they got into it.
Good intentions why they got into it, yes, certainly.
That we talked about on the air this morning, truly try to live up to the Proverbs 31 standard, where she's out there, she's got a side hustle, basically.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
And women are trying to look at that and go, yeah, I need a side hustle too, because the Proverbs 31 woman had a side hustle.
Right, and I recently talked to a friend of mine who was involved in Amway early on, and I said, well, how did you like it? And he said, I loved it. The products were great, and the people in Amway led him to the Lord, he and his wife. So, and Amway's a huge company,
It's huge.
right?
My
A
mom
huge
did
company.
it. And I know people now that started early and they're doing very well.
So it is possible to make money.
Yeah.
But I think it all comes down to, is the product good? Now, I've always known people that could sell ice cubes to Eskimos, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you put in their hand, they're going to sell
Yeah.
like way more than what you could supply. But most people are not like that. So it's got to be a product that you believe in. So if I want you to believe that this is a good thing, I first have to believe it's a good thing. I can't sell something I don't believe in. And so it's got to be a product that you like, that probably you would use, and that you believe in. And that's probably the best sales tool that you could have.
And yet there's an unintended relational consequence for, I think, the Christian woman, any woman, but a Christian woman, who gets sucked into one of these things and ends up basically being a sales rep on Sunday morning.
Yes.
And you've talked about, you got to, so they can
Yeah,
hear you.
so I had a personal experience. I've
You
done
better get
it,
closer
and
to
I've
the
liked it. And some of the, like I did Costco, which is less recruiting. But you-
Costco?
What is it? Cutco.
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 I love
It's,
Cutco.
I love Cutco. It's not recruiting, but it was using my network.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make a list of all the people you know. But even the ones that involve recruiting, I felt the tension of, like, I'm manipulating the
Right.
relationships I have. And I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the meetings, when they would say, you never know when you're standing next to your next leader, it would put a pressure no matter where I went. Or even if I'm at Starbucks, I love talking to people and connecting with people.
Yeah.
I hated that voice in the back of my head of, this could be the one, this could be the one, versus just, I just want to talk to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, you're coming, I love how you're being super nice. I thought you would have found more of an issue with that part of.
Janelle, I'm always super
Yeah,
nice.
you are.
Especially to you, Janelle. Well, now,
Yeah,
Brian,
you
not
are.
so much. But,
Teresa thinks we're right on this, by the way. She says that that women want to stay home but feel like that they need to be bringing money into the house.
Yeah.
And Proverbs 31 woman, I talked about this earlier today, it very explicitly talks about that fact. In verse 16, she goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She's energetic and strong, a hard worker. She makes her dealings and they're profitable. She's got a side hustle.
Yeah, she's working it. She's working hard.
She's
And
making money for the family.
So, what Janelle just mentioned about always looking for the next person. There's a way. For one thing, I don't like feeling like I'm working on Sunday mornings. I want to go to church and I want to worship, and I do have people at church that work with me as a financial advisor. And every once in a while they'll say, "Hey, can I give this to you?" I'm like, "Would you just mail it to the office because it's gonna get lost if you hand it to me here." And so I don't want to go to church and feel like I'm working. And so I've kind of avoided. I don't market at church. I don't do. If people want to work with me, they can always come to me because I love the people I go to church with. Well, most of them. Anyway, no, I do. I love you guys. It's a small church. But when you're doing a job like this, I think it helps to work hours. So, just like any other job, I don't work 24 hours a day. So I have hours that I work. Now I work odd hours because I have evening appointments and I travel and things like that. But if what you do when you set up a multi-level marketing job, if you set it up so during these hours are when I'm working and these hours I'm not, unless an extraordinary opportunity presents itself, I think you manage this just like a business. You just have different hours.
Though, because what the message is you never know who you sit in front of.
Well, it's true.
You never know. So it could be 9 p.m. and you're talking to somebody that's very dynamic, and you're like, man, this could be. You know how it's hard to put that line.
But it's more than that. I have two things. Number one, Asherita Choo Choo is hanging out with us. Just commented.
What?
Christian author.
Oh my gosh, I
brand
love
new
her.
devotional out. Asherita, we're excited you're here
We'll
with us.
be on the show with us in just like a few days.
Oh, fun. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But the second thing is this. I feel like as a Christian person, it's unwise to enter into a business that depends upon your friends buying in for you to be profitable.
But what if you have a product that would help them out? What if you have something that
I'd still be uncomfortable. I'd still be uncomfortable that I have to take advantage of the relationships I already have.
Why do you think it's taking advantage? If you're providing something that they need.
Because, as somebody commented here in the stream, I forget your name, I have to go look at it. Oftentimes it's overpriced. It's not the best deal. And if you love your friends, you want them to get a good product at the best price.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're feeding your profits and the person above you's profits. And
well, then don't sell that product. Don't sell that product.
That's why I question multi-level marketing at all, though, Dave. That it requires you to really crank on your friends.
So my wife and I right now, I forgot the name of this company. I don't know if I'd say it anyway, but we buy it's household goods. It's like I'm a industrial consumer of hand sanitizer, right? So they have the best hand sanitizer and laundry detergent. Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm like, hey, I need more hand sanitizer.
Oh,
And like 8 bottles show up. It's wonderful, and they mail it right to your house.
Is it Melaleuca?
Yes.
I love that.
I love Melaleuca.
Very like
Melaleuca.
clean, very organic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I just get generic stuff at Aldi.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that
Melaleuca's
too. I'm
the
sure
one.
that works, but
Kills
it's not going
99%
to
of
be.
germs.
Then that's why your hands are still dirty. You're using awesome hand sanitizer.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that a
Right?
multi-level marketing company?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, but I like their product. So, do I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of? Like I'm paying more? I don't, because it shows up at my house. I don't have to buy it. My wife just does the order.
So then perhaps I'm uncomfortable then with how some people approach the multi-level marketing. Like if you were walking around your small group at church and your men's ministry going, Dave Safransky here, president, founder of Edgewater Investment Group. Here's my card. Anyone
I
need
got a
financial-"
great mutual fund for you, buddy.
Now that would feel,
Yeah.
people would go, that guy's a creep.
It's a little slimy.
So it's the way people do it then.
Yeah.
So what's a good way to approach that dynamic of the business?
Because you can't be successful in multi-level marketing
Yeah.
without leveraging your relationships.
So here's how I would approach it. Now, I've always been in sales, so it doesn't make me squeamish to say, Brian, I want money from you, and I'm going to make it grow.
But you don't act like that.
Well, I don't, but it's years of practice. It's years of practice. So I think what I would say is, I have a product that I'm marketing. Would you just take a look at it and see if you're interested? Because
I'm already creeped out.
But I would test out the product first. I would get their catalog and I'd say, Brian, I'm thinking of doing this. Could I just sit down with you for 5 minutes and see if it's something that you would like to buy? Now, I'm not selling it yet. I'm not selling it.
Is it Sunday
yet.
morning and you're asking me this?
No. Now I'm going to meet with you off book, off hours, after dinner at your convenience, and I want an honest opinion from you. I'm selling this catalog of things. Is this something that you would consider? And if you say, you know what, I could buy that on Amazon for half that cost, and I'm out.
Because you can. Almost 9 times out of 10, whatever it is that multi-level marketing sells, you could buy it for half the price on Amazon.
We have a comment from Lori. She says, I don't like going to church or mom's groups and feeling like people are trying to befriend me in order to sell me something or try to recruit me.
And that's what I'm talking about. Ultimately, the
It's
feeling.
Does that really happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think guys experience this as much, even though I know guys that do Cutco and stuff. You talk about
I have a
this.
whole set
Yeah.
of Cutco knives.
They're amazing.
And
You
by
know,
the way, I brought them into my house, and 2 steak knives are missing, and I want to know where they are, Josh. Find those 2 steak knives. I'm like, I just
Cutco's
lost
amazing.
$200.
You bought it from a college student?
I bought it from Costco. They were at Costco. They were like
Cutco's amazing.
40% off.
but
What?
Yes.
Oh.
But see, you were talking earlier about the mentality you got when you were doing this. You're at the park, you're with
Yeah.
the kids, you see a woman.
Yeah. And you're thinking, this could be my next, because you're looking for the leader. You're looking for the woman that's going to kick you're not just looking for somebody to buy products and
Yeah.
just,
Someone who's going to
you know,
sell.
Yeah, so while you're there, you're like, okay, how do I, even while you're talking, how do I start the conversation? How do I go? So it just feel manipulative.
And that's not what Christians do.
It's not.
We have a comment from Teresa. She said, I had people unfriend me when I mentioned on Facebook that I'm only getting invited to their house for parties, not to just sit and have coffee.
But see, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point you're making.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that genuine Christian relationship and loving your neighbor is not loving your neighbor with strings attached. Like, I'm going to love you so that you,
By
even
the
when it
way,
comes to evangelism. by
Brian
the
and
way.
I are starting the Chainsaw and Tool of the Month Club, and
Yes.
we'd like you to be part of it. We know that they're all chainsaws that you would love to use.
Well, actually, to be
Right.
specific, here's how the business works. You give us money and we buy new tools.
Yes, it's the Tool of the Month Club for us.
For us, yeah.
Right, and we're not going to even invite you to a party because
No, there's
we
no
don't want
parties.
you in our house, really.
And you get nothing out of it.
But it sounds like, I thought you were going to be fully against it. It sounds like you're saying
Yeah, I'm surprised.
it's how you address it.
Yeah, I think you have to run it like a business.
Yeah.
And
But you have to leverage your friends to run it like a business.
well, I did that when I first started. I had to write down. I mean, this is 1992.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa.
So it's
In
been
your
a long
hammer
time.
pants? Wearing your hammer pants and with your boombox.
Yeah. I had hair in 1992. Well, I had more hair in 1992.
Zubas, maybe.
Zubas.
Hey, I'm Dave, wearing my Zubas. You don't remember Zubas?
No.
I don't remember Zuba.
Wow. So they don't know what Zubas are? What are you guys doing?
Wow. What were you doing?
But I first went to the people that I knew because I wasn't raised in money. I didn't come from money. I didn't have money. And so I had to go talk to people, and I made phone calls. I called and called and called and called and called. And in some sense, that's the way this is going to work.
Yeah.
But if somebody I knew said, you know what, I'm okay, I don't need anything, I dropped it. I didn't pick them up again because they had already told me no, and their friendship is more important than their business.
Now, I can't identify this, but I feel like there has to be a difference between the financial advisor building his initial client base and somebody trying to turn the next woman at the park into the next sales rep
It's a
to make
business.
her money.
It's just a business. You know what you could do?
But you're offering a service. What they're trying to do is get someone else to do work so that they can make money.
Yeah, it's
It's a little different.
It is a little different.
Sarah is saying, how about, and I've seen this before, how about we just support our friends who are trying to do something for their family? I get that. The problem is a lot of times you end up purchasing things that you know is overpriced, that you may not even need.
Mhm.
And then it's not just one friend you have. There's a lot of companies
Yeah,
and a lot of stuff.
I'd rather do GoFundMe than buy something I don't want, I don't need, that costs too much.
I had a friend one time whose wife got involved in this. It was like a candle trinket thing.
Oh gosh, the candle thing.
And
Oh,
so
no.
I bought these things, and they're like $150. And I brought them home, and I'm like, Levon, look at what I got.
I got you
and she's
candles.
like, just put those in the garage.
Oh!
But I felt like I was supporting
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
I would have rather given her just $150, to be honest.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, why take advantage of someone?
But
on
what
a
if
need?
it's a product, Brian? What if it's a product that you actually would use? And let's say it's 10% more, but you don't have to run to the store. You don't have to do
Norwex
anything.
is like that for me. You said Norwex, the cleaning supply
Mhm.
company. You talked about Melaleuca. You're right. There are things that you know you're overpaying for, but you're like, man, but I want this anyway.
It's kind of like my
I don't do
ministry in a way. I'm going to support this person from church because I love this family. And it's stuff I'm going
Yeah.
to use,
Yeah.
and it just shows up at my door.
Yeah.
And it was multi-level marketing was Amazon before Amazon,
Yeah, sure.
right?
was.
Amazon, you hit a buy now button, and bam, it's at your door in some cities within 2 hours.
Hours, yes. Amazing.
So they were doing it before. They're just priced a little higher. But you're
I don't know
helping
what-
somebody.
I don't know what to do with you.
You get extra points from me today. Wow, I
Yeah,
thought you
No,
were
but
gonna
I don't know if I
I'm
like
an enigma
this.
to you guys. I'm a
Yes.
riddle wrapped in a mystery.
You are though. I expected you to be adamantly against multi-level marketing, and you're not. Are you offering caution, or you would like everyone? You're trying to sell Cutco knives. You're trying to get everybody to join your Cutco scheme.
So I bought a Cutco knife from a college kid 25 years ago. I still have that Cutco knife, and it's just as sharp as the day I bought it.
Cutco's amazing.
So was that a good buy for me?
I think it was
It was
a
a
good buy.
$150 kitchen knife.
But
What?
I need the asterisks next to the sentence where Dave says, "You can help people. It's not so bad." I'm going down to the bottom to understand what the asterisk is. You got to give a caution here.
Well, the caution is, I think the caution is when if Janelle is going to do this, she has to realize that some people are going to be a little squeamish. So I think you got to get out ahead of things. For instance, when I have bad news to deliver to somebody, and I do this from time to time, and the worst news I ever delivered to somebody, I was just, how am I going to do this? And I gave them what I call a negative receipt right off the bat. I said, what I'm about to tell you is going to be very difficult. And not that you're going to tell them that I'm a multi-level marketer.
Yeah.
But I would say is, look, I just want to tell you, I'm calling about something that's different today, and if you don't ever want to talk about it again, just tell me.
That's nice. Yeah.
And so you kind of take the burden off of them to tell you no. And if they don't want it, don't sacrifice a friendship for some laundry detergent. It is not worth it. So I think there's a way that you could do this that's appropriate, where it's not going to alienate everybody you know.
And can I add to that? If you're doing the parties, be sure you're also throwing parties that don't require your friends to come and buy something. Show that person who commented, I'm sorry I can't see your name right now, but person that said they were unfriended when they said, boy, I feel like no one ever actually invites me over. They just want me to buy stuff at their house. So I think you got to do both, don't you? You got to show people that you care about them above and beyond your
The next
multi-level marketing.
time I invite you over to my house, I'm not going to try and sell you anything.
Which, by the way, I'm still waiting for the first time. You're still mad that I made you buy me coffee years ago and totally blew you off.
Yeah. So Brian, we meet in
There we
Starbucks.
go.
I go to this Starbucks all the time when I'm in Chicago, right by Moody. And Brian's like, "Hey, that's cool. You're a great guy here, from everybody. But we already have a financial guy. Can I get extra sprinkles on that, please?"
Anyway,
Drinking my $10 cup of coffee.
what's your name again?
Yes.
Don.
Armando. Who's Armando?
It's been fun talking to you. We will probably revisit this, I'm guessing, if you want to, tomorrow on Friday.
Yeah, see you then, 6 to 9.
Special thanks to Kelly for standing here and holding the
I
camera
know.
Her
today
arm's got to be killing
on her
her.
phone. Well, she's buff. That's why it's no problem.
I mean, the muscles there.
Exactly.
The
She's a
muscles.
millennial, she's young.
Bye, guys.